So it's happening once again, more leaks from NetherRealm's studios. However, this time it's about their upcoming Marvel video game, which is very interesting stuff. I'm admittedly a bit late to cover this news. I actually had a different video planned for this week, only to find out from my agent that I actually can't post it until next week. And as a result, this video is a bit last minute, and I apologize for that, but I'm gonna do my best to cover the news for you today. For anyone who's not aware, a reliable source did say that NetherRealm is working on a Marvel video game. And since it is NetherRealm Studios, a lot of people did assume it's a Marvel fighting game. However, that much is not actually confirmed. So while I do believe the initial leak that NetherRealm is in fact working on a Marvel video game, we don't know for sure that it's a fighting game. That assumption is pretty fair given the games that NetherRealm does make, but it's not actually certain as of yet. But that leak is old news. This new leak happened about a week ago, and it has some very interesting stuff. So apparently the actual roster for this upcoming game has already been leaked. However, do take this rumor with a heavy grain of salt because it was released on 4chan. And even though some leaks posted on 4chan are true, a lot of them are complete nonsense. So I wanted to do my best today to see if this rumor is legit or not. Before looking at the characters, let's see what this game's story is about. So apparently it's loosely based on the World War Hulk comic. And for anyone who's not aware, basically Hulk was sent away to a different planet because all the characters were scared of him, and then when he was on that new planet, he pretty much took it over and became the king. And it turns out he's actually a pretty fair king and everyone loved him for the most part. But that happiness for Hulk was not meant to last because apparently somebody rigged his pod to self-destruct. So not only was he sent away by his supposed friends on Earth to a different planet because they were so scared of him, but they even had a detonation feature on his pod to explode and kill him as a safety measure. And as a result, Hulk is absolutely fuming. He's so upset, so he goes to Earth and pretty much fights all of Earth's mightiest heroes and gives them a good run for their money. He's pretty much smacking everybody around. And according to this rumor, the story mode in this new fighting game is going to be similar to that. It's described as being very similar to the Injustice series, and I already like that idea because the Marvel comics can actually get very dark despite how lighthearted most of the films are. And if this rumor is legit, then I think Hulk might be the final boss, or at least a sub-boss, and that's fair because this is World Breaker Hulk. He can destroy planets. He's very, very strong. If you want to know just how absurdly strong he is, Marvel actually has their own version of Superman, and he fights Hulk to a standstill. That's how strong Hulk is in that comic book arc. So that would be pretty interesting as a boss character, not gonna lie. So next up, let's finally talk about the roster, and this is what actually has me suspicious because it could be real, but I'm gonna let you know why some of these choices don't seem possible to me. So first up, we have the typical Avengers characters that you know are gonna be in there. Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Black Widow, Hawkeye, we know that. Wolverine, that is possible because now Disney does own Fox characters. Black Panther, Spider-Man, Groot, Rocket Raccoon, we all know that. They're gonna be a duo character that's cool. Blade, that would be an interesting choice, but it would fit perfectly for NetherRealm. Gamora, and then Moon Knight. Moon Knight is an interesting choice because I do believe he has a series in the works, so this game could be cross-promotion for him. For anyone who doesn't know who Moon Knight is, I highly recommend researching him. He's one of the more interesting characters that Marvel has made. Ghost Rider, great character, gotta put him in. Gambit, that's an interesting one. Shang-Chi, there is a movie coming out, they may want to do some cross-promotion. Kitty Pryde would honestly be a really bad pick. I believe her X-Men name is Shadowcat, but everyone calls her Kitty Pryde. She's more famous for that, kind of like Jean Grey. Her power is to become intangible. You can't touch her. She can walk through walls, and if she touches you, she can also make you intangible as well. That's not very good for a fighting game character, so that has me a bit suspicious. An Invisible Woman, that would also be a pretty terrible idea for a character. She can turn invisible. That's pretty much all she can do. Wait, I'm forgetting. She can also create invisible barriers. Okay, that could actually work for a character. Mr. Fantastic, I think he deserves to be in a fighting game. He's never been in a single Marvel vs. Capcom video game. I think it's about time. Hulk, and then Scar. Scar is a really odd and interesting choice. Dr. Octopus, fantastic idea. Blob, I wouldn't like to see Blob. Mojo, I'm not even sure how Mojo could play. He has like pretty much every ability you can think of. He's pretty much god level. However, in saying that, he almost never uses his powers because, believe it or not, he runs like a reality TV show and his goal is to put you in the reality TV show. He's honestly one of the creepiest characters in fiction that I've ever seen, and he'd be interesting as a fighting game character, but I don't know how it would work because he's not really a fighter. Bullseye would be kind of redundant because we already have Hawkeye and Gambit, which are kind of similar characters. They have really good aim and they shoot stuff at you. Mephisto, I don't think enough people know who Mephisto is, but I did hear he was in a recent series on Disney Plus. I don't want to spoil it. Dakin, I don't even know who Dakin is. Arnim? Zola? I don't know these people. I actually don't know these characters, and I'm a pretty big comic book buff, so these are pretty obscure, even for me. Venom, you gotta have Venom. Venom's amazing. Abomination is the counter to Hulk. Pretty good idea to have him in. Deacon Frost. I recognize that name, but it doesn't come to mind right away. Pretty obscure character. Madam Mask. I don't know who Madam Mask is either. Man, I'm gonna put pictures on screen, but I don't know who these people are. Like I mentioned earlier, some of these choices are very obscure, which makes this leak seem a bit less credible, on top of the fact that it came from 4chan. However, this next choice would actually make perfect sense for a game company, even NetherRealm, which is to make Deadpool a pre-order bonus. I know a lot of people hate pre-orders. I'm 50-50 on them. I think they're a good way to get more sales, but I understand people don't want to invest in a game before it comes out and the reviews are out because it could be bad. So I'm not taking sides, but what I am saying is if you're a company and you want pre-orders, then Deadpool is pretty much the perfect character to guarantee you get a bunch of pre-orders. And even if this leak is fake, I do want to see Deadpool in a different fighting game because I don't like how he plays in the Marvel vs. Capcom video games. And then next up we have DLC characters, so Daredevil. You gotta have Daredevil. I'm still really mad that he wasn't in Marvel Infinite. Cyclops, another great pick. And then Raiden as a guest character, okay? And Kylo Ren, no, I didn't see this. So Kylo Ren, no, I think this whole thing has just been debunked. I really doubt Kylo Ren's going to be a DLC character in a Marvel video game. How's it going, everyone? Future Underdog here, currently editing this video, and I wanted to interject real quick. I understand that Star Wars characters have been in fighting games before. For example, Soul Calibur 4 had 3. We had Yoda, Darth Vader, and even Starkiller in the upcoming Force Unleashed video game. So I'm not saying it's impossible for a Star Wars character to be in a fighting game, but I think the person who posted this leak confused Marvel for Disney, because while Disney does own Star Wars, Marvel actually does not. Disney just owns both Star Wars and Marvel. And as a result, I don't think it's very likely to have a Star Wars character in your Marvel fighting game. And that's why I think Kylo Ren alone could debunk this entire rumor. And then on top of that, it turns out that Arnim Zola is actually a single character, whereas in the leak it is 2 different characters, which is not possible. As you can tell by this picture, they are definitely combined as a singular unit. So it could just be a typo. Maybe the person leaking it did not know that Arnim Zola was the same character, but I think it's just one more reason this whole thing could be debunked. Not to mention that Scar, Hulk, and Abomination would all essentially play the same. They're all Hulk-like characters, so having 3 of the same playstyle would be very redundant, at least in my opinion. Alright, take it away, past Underdog. I understand Raiden because the company making the game is NetherRealm and they already own the rights to Raiden. However, I do wish they would pick a different Mortal Kombat character if they have to have a Mortal Kombat guest character at all. Me personally, I wouldn't want any guest characters to be from Mortal Kombat, but if you're going to, pick someone different. Maybe Katana or Melina or Jade, that would be fantastic. Like I pointed out before, NetherRealm actually never had a female guest character. So I think if you want to reach into Mortal Kombat, then pick one of the female characters, maybe even Sonya, but I think Melina would be a really good choice, but I am a bit biased in that regard. Alright everyone, at any rate, that's about it for the rumors and the leaks, so do I think this is legit? No. Do I think a lot of the characters listed here will be in the game? Absolutely. I think we all know that pretty much every Avenger is going to be in the game, and if they do allow for X-Men characters, despite all the weird copyright loopholes and like red tape and all that nonsense, then characters like Wolverine and Cyclops are a shoo-in. I would be heartbroken though if Rogue didn't make it in. She's my favorite X-Men character. Well, actually it's Nightcrawler, but I think Rogue would be more fun for a fighting game character. And then of course Deadpool and Daredevil also pretty likely to be in a a Marvel fighting game. But once again, we're not even sure if it's gonna be a fighting game, but it does seem almost confirmed that NetherRealm is working on a Marvel video game of some kind. But keep in mind, Ed Boon has said in the past that he wants to move away from fighting games and try something different, which is why I think this could be a different game entirely and maybe not a fighting game after all. Overall, this leak does not seem super likely to me, but I'd be very happy to be proven wrong because some of these characters get me very excited. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and then while you're down there, please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. It really does help me out a ton. And then make sure to keep that combo going by suplexing that subscribe button. That way you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.